Hello guys, it's Dan from V.S.L Concept, and in this video I'll be taking you on a tour through the application window, and I'll be introducing you to the basic tools in Coreldraw. And if you've not installed the application, please go back to the last video and install the application so you can be on the same page with most of us here. And for most of us that has installed this software, I believe you opened it and you were like, where do I go from here? And because you have a whole lot of things going on here, be rest assured that that's not a problem. At the end of this video, you will understand perfectly everything you need to do within the CorelDRAW application. Now to start with, in this window, as you can see, you have the new documents. Now, clicking on this, you can create anything you want to do from the scratch. This is like starting your documents, your designs, everything from the scratch. Now, next to it is the new from templates. Of course, Coreldraw has existing templates. So if you have limited time and you want to get your project done or get things done fast, you can select from the list of templates Coreldraw has to offer. And next to this, you have the open documents. So if you have created something previously and you need to open it, so this is where you go to get it done. So we'll start with the new document since we basically want to have a fresh insight of the CorelDRAW application window. So ladies and gentlemen, kindly click on new document. So clicking on new document, it brings up a prompt, a docker that says create a new document. Now, the first thing here, you have your name. Now, what this name means is not saying you should put your personal name. It's the name of what you want to do. Probably we want to create a social media flyer. So we just put media flyer. So that's the name of what we are creating right now. So the next thing is preset destination. Guys, always leave this as custom. You don't need to tamper with this. Um, the next thing is size. Yes, Coreldraw has different sizes. You have your A5, your A6, your R2, B1, D7, all the way down to F4 custom, and you can always customize your size. So because we are creating a media flyer for this, we'll be using a custom size of 5 by 5. And now Coreldraw has standard of measurements. You have inches, millimeters, picas points, all the way down to kilometers. Now we just leave it at inches. Now the number of pages for this section of this training, we would always leave this at 1 while creating with this new document. Always leave this at 1. And the next thing you see here is primary color code. And ladies and gentlemen, since we are creating a media flyer, you should always leave it at RGB. Basically, this is it. If you're creating anything for the internet, for your phone, for your mobile application, for anything that has to do with online, please, it should always be set to RGB. But if you're creating anything for print, your billboards, your banners, your roll-up, your anything that has to do with publication, name it, you should always be set to CMYK. So because we are creating this for online, it's social media flyer, so online. So yeah, if you guess right, we leave it at RGB. So rendering resolution, please always leave this at 300. Then the preview mode, always leave it at enhanced. And the whole lot of this is already set, custom set by Coreldraw, so no need to touch the color setting and all of that. Um, Having said all that, just click on the OK button, and yes, Coreldraw takes you to the application window interface. Now, let's get started. The first thing we'll be covering here is the toolbox. If you downloaded all the resources for this particular class, you would see that I added a notepad that states everything that we'll be covering here, from the toolbox to the color palette. And also there's a diagram that also like explains it. As you can see, it is well labeled. So basically just follow through and we'll get this done in no time. So first things first, what we'll be doing here, if you check your notepad, the first thing on the list is your toolbox. Now this is your toolbox. Everything in this region, all these are your tools, and these are what you use to modify and create objects inside the Coreldraw application window. So this is your toolbox. We'll be talking more about this later on. So number two, as you can see, the next one you have here is your documents tab. Document tab. This here is your document tab. Now this shows everything about this document. You know, when we started before, we had to create like the document from the scratch because of that prompt. Now you can actually change the size of what we are actually creating inside here because of this document tab. So you might have maybe you were not convinced of what you wanted to do in the first place, and you made the wrong changes. So here you can actually change the size. Like probably I don't want to use a 5 by 5 again. I can just come back and just use the 7 by 5. Click enter, and if you observe, it has changed our drawing page. You understand? So you can actually change everything that has to do with the document here on the document tab. Now let's move on. Number three is our what? If you're following through and you have your notepad, number three is our title bar. Now this is our title bar. Now this says Coreldraw 2018 64 bits media flyer. So it gives you the title of what you're actually creating. If you are creating a banner, it will say Coreldraw 2018 64 bits banner. If you are creating a greeting card, it will tell you Coreldraw 2018 64 bits greeting card. I hope you understand well. So this is your title bar. It gives you the exact title of the currently selected drawing. So that is it. Since we are currently working on media flyer, so this is what we have here. So the next thing we have here, very importantly, is the menu bar. Now the menu bar is one interesting aspect of CorelDRAW. It's very important, guys. The menu bar. Now the menu bar, what it does, if you're following me through, it contains pull down menu options. Now you have so many options in every category. Under the file, you have so many options. Under the edit, you have so many options. Under the view, you have so many options. Just click and come down. Click, mind you, you're clicking once. Just click once and scroll down. You can see you have so many options. Every menu has its own options. The text, and you can do that for all of that. You have options for all of that. Click once and come down. As you can see, so the menu bar contains pull down and menu options. So that is the menu bar. Going further, the number 5, we have the toolbar. Now this is the toolbar. This here is the toolbar. Directly under the menu bar, you have the toolbar. Now what the toolbar does is contains shortcut to menu and other commands. Like the first one you have here, you have your new document. If you want to create a new document, you don't have to go back to, for some persons they might want to come back to the welcome screen and create new. No, you don't have to do that. Just simply creating this, clicking on this. Can you see? This is the exact docker we saw in the first time when we were trying to create, like when we did the creation of this media flyer. This is what we saw. So inside here you can also do that with the help of your tool bar. So You have all of this. This is your save. This is your paste. You have copy. You have paste, and you have imports and exports. This is export to PDF, and this is your full screen display. So this is your show ruler and a whole lot of that. So ladies and gentlemen, this is your tool bar. Now the next one we'll be covering here is the drawing window. Now number 6, if you're following through, you see the number 6. This is your number 6. This is your drawing window. Everything here, it's your drawing window. This region, and this region, this is your drawing window. And I want to ask yourself what the drawing window is all about. So this is the area outside the drawing page, bordered by the scroll bar and application control. So yes, you might have guessed right, this is the drawing page. So outside of the drawing page, you have the drawing window. So everything around here is the drawing window. So the next on our list is the property bar. The property bar. So if you're following through, you know where the property bar is. This is the property bar. This gives you information of what you are currently working on, your active tool, the tool you are currently working on. It gives you information about it. Like for instance, I'm actually working on this rectangle. As you can see here, can you see? It's currently changing. So this is the property bar, region X and region Y. So it's actually changing and it's moving because I'm actually moving the shape. Let's give it a color. And because I'm actually moving the shape, this is why it is actually moving. Now if I extend the shape, can you see on the property bar here, can you see it's also changing? If I increase further, can you see the width is changing from 5, it has moved to 6.023. So this is the property bar, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you get yourself acquainted to all of this because going further in the video is going to be very, very helpful. And the next one here we have is the Docker. That is your number 9. That is the Docker. So this year, everything you have here, they are actually Dockers. Everything you have here. If you just opened the Coreldraw, you should have all of this here. These are actually Dockers. Now, from the definition there, it says displays tasks and tool related controls such as command buttons, options, and list boxes for modifying drawing. Now, like for instance, now this is the object property. So when I click on this, as you can see, this gives me information of this current shape I'm working on. So this is the outline, this is the black, it's showing me, this is the width 0.5, and this is the color. Now if I switch to the color of this shape, which is the next one here, can you see it's showing me that it's a red color? That's because it's an RGB. It's showing me where it is. So if I actually move the color downwards or upwards, or I choose to change my color to blue, or I use this color, or I use this color, can you see I can actually modify everything I want to modify here. So these here are Dockers you can actually use to modify your drawings. I hope you understand me. Okay, so let's move on. We'll come back to all of this shortly. So let's move on to the next thing, which is ruler. Yes, you might be asking ruler. Yes, CorelDRAW has ruler, and this is the ruler up here. As you can see, it is labeled. It has a ruler-like shape. And the best thing about this ruler is you can actually draw down and set where you want to set. Probably you have two shapes, and you need to align it well. As you can see, probably is not aligned well, so I can actually move like this, and with the help of my ruler I zoom close. Please make sure you are always using your mouse, because you need to be precise as a graphic designer. So using your mouse you can actually scroll. As you can see now, they are both on the same line, so I can go on and give uh different colors to these boxes. Can you see it's currently aligned? So if you have probably this box is outside here, with the help of your ruler you can actually put them in place, and you can actually toggle on and off your ruler over here. So when I toggle this off, you see the ruler is gone. The ruler is gone. But if I want it back on, I can actually click on show ruler, and you can see we have our ruler back. So guys, that is the ruler. And the next thing we'll be talking about here is the next thing on the list. That is, if you're following the numbers through, it's the document palette. That is number 10. Number 10 is the document palette. Now, because this is the document palette here. Now, what this does is it's a detachable bar that contains color swatches for the current document. Now, this is your document bar. Because we have used several colors inside this document, or inside this drawing, or inside this project, that is why we are seeing all of this. This is the previous colors. You might have used the color before and you might have forgotten, so you can Coreldraw actually has this just to remind you of, okay, this is what you have used before. So if you remember well vividly, when we started off by using the red color. So this is the first color we use, so we can go back to the first color and select any of our shapes or boxes and actually give it color. And the second color we used was this color. So can you see? So um this is the document palette. So that is exactly what it does. Again, it's a detachable bar that contains color swatches for the current document, and it's also showing you we are on page 1. So moving on, we have the document navigator. Now this is the document navigator. So for example, you have like under this media flyer, as a project file, you want to create so many pages. So you can easily come here. If you zoom closer, you will notice that you have your plus sign, so you can actually click. What this does is it creates pages. Now you can have close to 50 pages or 100 pages in one document. Yes, Coreldraw allows you to do that. So you have page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4. So what this document navigator does is it helps you navigate through these pages. As you can see now, the navigator is active because I have more than one page. But if you have only one page, it won't be active. So I can actually use it. See, this is it here. I can actually use to scroll between pages. Can you see? Now I want to scroll back. This arrow takes you. Can you see? But if I want to move to the last page, like the function of your remote, you can just go like this and it takes you to the last page. This is the page 5. So instead of toggling one by one, you just move fast with this and it takes us back to page 1. So guys, that's the document navigator. Now the one labeled 12. Now this is very, I want you to take note of this part. Now this is very, 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 very important. Now this is the drawing page. Now the drawing page is the printable area. I want you to note this down. It's the printable area inside the drawing window. Now, the essence of this is basically it is the area inside Coreldraw that it is only anything you have inside of this drawing page that can be printed out. I hope you understand me well. Now, this is the drawing window. If you have these shapes outside and you want to print anything and you have it outside of this area, ladies and gentlemen, it will not be printed out. It has to be inside of this drawing page. This is your drawing page. This area that is bordered like this is your drawing page. Anything outside is a drawing window. This is a drawing window. This is the drawing page. So for you to actually, let's say for instance now you've made a couple of design and you want to print out, it has to be inside of this drawing page. So take that down and note that it's very, very important. I hear some person saying it's outside, my files didn't print well and all of that. That is because most times your files are actually outside, they are not inside the drawing page. So you could have a 5 by 5 uh, as your working drawing page, something you are working on, because you're working on a media flyer, so we're using a 5 by 5. So if you want to export to, it's a good discipline that everything you should be doing trying to export should be inside. But you can actually work outside, you can work outside effectively, but you should know that anything you are doing while you are exporting should be inside of this page. And trust me, when you have everything organized inside of this page and all of that, you won't have problems with Coreldraw interface. It's very, very easy to understand. The next one we'll be talking about here labeled is the status bar. Now this is the status bar underneath here. Now it shows us that we are actually working on an RGB profile. This is the RGB profile based on what you actually selected. So if, for example, now you see I've currently selected this shape, and since I selected this shape, you as can see, it's giving me the profile of the color I have inside of this shape. So it's showing me RGB, G7, B7, then the color code of this particular color in this shape. So clicking on this red tool, you can actually see it's actually red color and it's showing you the color code. So that is the status bar, and it actually shows you that this is a rectangle. Can you see? So if I have a circle and let's say an ellipse, this is like an ellipse, so I have it, let's say I have a green ellipse, selected green ellipse. Can you see now it's showing, can you see it has changed and it's showing you ellipse on layer 1 and it's showing you the location of, can you see, because I have moved the location, can you see location has changed? Can you see with the cursor, my cursor location actually changes here. Can you see? This is the cursor location. So guys, this is the status bar, and the next thing we'll be going through is the navigator. Now, for example, you have files scattered around your drawing window, corridor drawing window, and this is what the navigator does. So selecting it, you can actually, okay, when you hold it down, you can actually see everything that is currently on your drawing window. So it's just a better view of what you have on your drawing window. Even when you zoom close and you go close to it, can you see it's showing you everything on your drawing window. So it is a button that opens a smaller display to help you move around your drawing. So can you see I'm actually moving around my drawing. So if I have it zoomed out far wide and I come back, I can actually over around my drawing. So the last one we'll be covering here to the right of your drawing window is your color palette. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your color palette. This is where you have your colors stacked. With your scroll wheel, if you zoom up and down, you see you have so many colors. Coreldraw gives you an option to have so many colors. So you can actually select the shape you want to give color, then just click on the color you intend giving it. Like this, I want to change it to a darker green. I can go back here and select. Can you see? And if you hover around the colors, you can actually see this is grass green, this is Kentucky green. So you can actually select. I want to give this color. I give it a banana yellow. Banana yellow. Wow, that's nice. So you can actually give it this color and a whole lot more. So guys, this is the color palette. So in the description is a detachable bar that contains color swatches. So this is your, and you can actually have more than one color palette here. You can have your CMYK, but because we are actually working on an RGB file, so everything you have here is your RGB colors. I hope you understand. If you're working on the CMYK document, everything you have here would be CMYK color palettes. But because we're working on RGB files, everything we have under here is your RGB color palettes. Stay tuned for the next part where we'll be covering the basic tools of Corel Draw 2018.